severely outshined by its younger brother, and severely overshadowed by... Wait, you hear that? Severely overshadowed by its cousin, the CLS 63. Alright, so boom! Before I get started in today's video, I just want to say, still early in this process, but I've been getting some more support, and I can't express how grateful I am for it all. Thank you very much if you click this video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new here, welcome back. Either way, you're very much appreciated. Also, you might be like, why is he wearing a shiesty inside? I buzzed my head a few months ago, and I was rocking that for a while. So I'm in the awkward stage right now of growing it out. So it's going to stay covered till further notice. Alright, let's get started now. So you may be wondering, what car am I talking about? That is none other than the W212 E63S, but specifically the facelift years, from 2014 to 2016. So the W212 started off in 2010 and ended off in 2016. But these were kind of in-between years, I want to say, for a lot of other generations. These are years where other generations ended and new ones started. This one lasted a bit longer than other models, so it received some features of other models that went through a new generation, but this one stayed the same. That's why I say it's kind of an in-between. So a little bit about the W212. This generation started off in 2010 and ended off in 2016, like I just said. So I'm going to be talking about the AMG model specifically because that's what this video is about. But this generation had all types of different models besides the AMG one, of course. So where it all started off in this generation, the 2010 E63. These started off with AMG's legendary 6.2 liter V8, pushing out 518 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque, and did the 0-60 in approximately 4.6 seconds. These came in only a rear-wheel drive option with no 4MATIC available yet. But in 2013, for the E-Class, Mercedes decided to retire the 6.2 and introduce the new M157 5.5 liter twin-turbo V8 that came with 4MATIC as an option. They came in both all-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. But just 1 year later, this generation received the biggest facelift in, I want to say, modern car history, but definitely in Mercedes history. The facelift lasted from 2014 until the generation ended until 2016. Because these years, I feel like, are very overshadowed. Like I said in the intro, I believe, well, they are outperformed by its younger brother, the W213 E-Class, and it's also slightly overshadowed by its older brother, the pre-facelift generation with the 6.2, because who doesn't love AMG's 6.2? But also, it gets severely overshadowed by its... You hear the music. The CLS 63, which I can't blame it because that's a beautiful car. But the thing is, the CLS and the E-Class, they're the same car, same chassis, just different packages, you could say. The CLS was built on the E-Class chassis, and you know everybody loves the CLS. How could I love it? How could you not? It's a beautiful car. It's one of the most beautiful designed cars ever, in my opinion. So these years came in a few different trim options. These came with the base just E63 AMG, and then also with the E63S, and then they also came with either 4MATIC Plus and not, so 4-wheel drive or just rear-wheel drive. So there's quite a few different options. Speaking about just the regular E63, this came with the same 5.5 twin turbocharged V8, but it's pushing out 550 horsepower and 531 pound-feet of torque. The rear-wheel drive did the 0-60 in approximately 4.2 seconds, and the 4MATIC did it in 3.7. Of course, the 4MATIC is going to have a better 0-60 time because it's putting power down to all four wheels, so you can put it down more efficiently. But the E63S, it's the same engine, same everything, it's just tuned for more power. That more power is 577 horsepower and 590 foot-pounds of torque. And these came standard with, all-wheel drive. Looking at this now, I think the S only came all-wheel drive. There you go, the more you know. Some of the reasons why this is my favorite AMG model is because, like I said, it's kind of the in-between year. So it came before the W212's 4-liter twin-turbo V8, but it came after AMG's M156 6.2 liter V8. So in my opinion, you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting a big V8, 5.5 liters, and twin turbochargers. So due to this engine being turbocharged, there's a lot more tuning potential for it compared to the 6.2. Not that you can't get a lot of power out of the 6.2, you can. There's supercharger kits for it, all types of stuff. But to get the power out of the naturally aspirated engine is going to be a lot harder, of course. With the E63S, with just a simple stage 1 for these engines, you go from the stock 577. I know I said 577, but so many sources say 577 and some say 585. So I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure which one. I want to say 577 because that's one I see more often, but I'm seeing 585 places too. So I just want to let that be clear. But as I was just saying, with these engines having a lot more tuning potential and a lot easier to squeeze power out of these engines, just a simple stage 1 tune, you can go from the stock 585 to 660, gaining 75 horsepower out of just a tune alone. I know nowadays with everything being turbocharged, like, I don't want to say it's common to get this much power out of just a stage 1 tune, but it kind of is. With the 6.2 liter, you can only get around 20 to 30 horsepower max out of just the tune alone. To squeeze more power out of that, you'd have to do headers and a whole bunch of more stuff. So with all those stats out of the way, I want to talk about why this is one of my favorite AMG models, and honestly why it's such a good bang for your buck these days. So if you know me, I was a W204 owner, which is the chassis of the C63, but I had the C350, so I didn't have the AMG. But my last video was my ownership experience on the W204, so go watch that if you want. But so as a W204 owner, of course I loved the C63, and I still do. I still want one, but I live in Canada. Let me show you. Lots of snow. It's been snowing a lot the last few weeks. Oh yeah. So we get a lot of snow here. So having a high power rear wheel drive car, I would only be able to use it half of the year. But with the E63s coming with all wheel drive, it's a car I'd be able to drive year round if I wanted to, which is always nice. But another reason why I love this car so much, and like I said, you get a lot of bang for your buck. They're still not cheap, but you can get clean examples for, I want to say, the high 30s all the way to the high 50s, maybe 60 if that's like really pushing it, like a low mileage one. And these prices are comparable to a W204 C63 facelift, to be specific, which is the more ideal one in my opinion. It's the nicer one, and I believe they come with different packages that the pre-facelift doesn't. Saying this, you can get a clean example C63 for the same price as a clean example E63S. They're both wonderful cars, and they both cater to different crowds, because one's, like I said, rear-wheel drive, naturally aspirated, the other one's all-wheel drive, 4MATIC. So they have their places, I want to say. But I feel like with the E-Class, you're getting a lot more car for your dollar compared to the C-Class. You're getting the twin turbocharged, you're getting the 4MATIC, you're getting more tuning potential, and the E-Class is just a higher class than the C-Class. And another reason why I love it, like I was saying earlier, it's kind of an in-between year. So if you look at the W212s, the pre-facelifts compared to the W213, for example, there's a big difference in design. Well, one, the W212 pre-facelift, you can just tell the age by looking at it, and it's a lot more sharp and sleek. But the W213 is still a beautiful car, very beautiful, but it's a lot bigger, a lot more bubbly, but of course it looks a lot more modern because it is. So with the W212 facelift, to me, you get the best of both worlds. You still get a modern looking car. This car is aged like fine wine, like many Mercedes of this generation, but you also still get the sharpness and sleekness of the older Mercedes, which I love. So long story short, it's just the best in between of older Mercedes and modern Mercedes. So again, where can you go wrong with that? Like, you can't. You can't at all. With the generation falling in the 2010 to 2016 years, its competitors were the F10, BMW M5, and Audi's C7 to C7.5 S6. All of these are beautiful cars and amazing high-power sedans, but they all cater to their own crowd. Starting off with the BMW, the F10 came with a 4.4-liter twin turbocharged V8, so quite a bit smaller than the E-Class, but performance-wise, it pushed out similar numbers of 560 horsepower and 500 foot-pounds of torque. These only came in rear-wheel drive, but these were also offered with a 7-speed dual clutch or a 6-speed manual. It did the 0 to 60 in approximately 4.2 seconds, so similar to the rear-wheel drive option E's class. So the Audi C7 to C7.5, these years ran from 2012 until 2018, and these came with a 4.0 liter twin turbocharged V8. So all these came with turbocharged V8s, AMG being the biggest one and Audi being the smallest one. These came standard with Audi's infamous Quattro system and pushed out 450 horsepower and 406 pound-feet of torque. So the lowest out of the competitors, but like I said, each of these cars serve their own purpose and cater to their own crowds. With it having the least amount of power, it does have the best fuel economy. So it's probably the best daily out of all of these after the E63 in my opinion, but again, I'm biased. These came with a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission and did the 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds. So slightly faster than the BMW on paper. I haven't seen a race for these. I tried finding one and I couldn't really. So I don't know exactly how they perform against each other in stock forms, but those are the stats. So out of all the competitors, AMG came with the biggest engine and the most power, and in theory the fastest 0 to 60. Like I said, I haven't seen any roll races or anything, but I want to say the E-Class is the fastest. It is on paper, but I know paper doesn't always translate to the real world. So with those being the competitors, in my opinion, the Mercedes is the best mix of both of them because it's offered in the 4MATIC all-wheel drive, but it's also offered in the rear-wheel drive like the BMW. So if you want a more rowdy, tail-happy car, you can get that. But if you want a car that can put the power down better, like the Audi, Mercedes also offers that. That's why they're just the best. Who doesn't love Mercedes? Weirdos, that's who. Nah, I'm playing. Each their own. But that's enough about the competitors. I want to touch briefly more on the CLS. So that car, exact same package, same engine, same output, same everything, but just a different body style. The CLSs are a lot more popular, but that's just kind of more opinion based, which one you like more. For me, the reason why I love the E63 more than the CLS is because to me the CLS 550s is kind of more than enough. Yes, the AMG ones, well, come with a bigger engine and all that, but the 550s come with the 4.7 twin turbo V8 pushing out 402 horsepower, I believe. This is just off the dome. I'll have the numbers on the screen if I'm wrong. I don't think I am. But also the CLS, just the 550 or the base ones, look to me more than good enough compared to like a E400 or E300. The E63 looks just so much better, but the CLS 550 and the 63, yes, the 63 looks better, but the 550 is just as beautiful in my opinion. And also, if you care about this stuff, I've seen 2 E63S's W212s in my city ever, and they're both wagons. I have never seen the sedans. They're a lot more rare than the CLS's. So if you care about being different or want a car that's a little bit more rare, you get the E-Class. So with all that being said, in conclusion, if you want a car that you get a lot of bang for your buck, that is pretty rare, flies under the radar for the most part, is a beast performance-wise, older but still very modern looking, get yourself an E-Class, get yourself a W212. I'm chasing one of these down. I'm chasing one of these down eventually. I don't know when it's gonna come, but it'll come. I'm gonna come back to this video. I'm gonna use this clip. I'm gonna come back to this clip, and then come on, bruh. You get what I'm saying. I'm gonna have one eventually. Don't sleep on it. But yeah, again, in conclusion, those are just some of the reasons why I believe it's the most overshadowed and overlooked models of AMG, and one of the best. I probably could have rambled on about this car a whole lot more, but I'm trying to keep this video under 15 minutes because my last one was like half-hour long, and I know it's pretty long for a YouTube video, so I'm trying to keep this one, short and sweet. Not too short, but long enough, but sweet enough. You know what I'm saying. So that concludes my reasons why it's I already said it, why my favorite and all that. So if you made it to the end and you enjoyed the video, drop a like, drop a comment, any constructive criticisms you have, or just anything. I appreciate it if you made it this far, and even though you clicked this video, I appreciate it. So thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day. It's Friday for me, so happy Friday, whatever day you're watching this on. I hope you have a happy that day. Thank you. Have a good day.